everyone. Welcome in. How is everybody's Thursday today? I think it's still Thursday. We were talking on Twitch earlier today and feeling like it was a very Friday feeling Thursday. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you are making it through your week. And I'm so excited that you are here joining us today. So hopefully we can give you some fun inspiration for some Valentine's nails and help you make it through your week this week. So hopefully you're all having a great week. But if you're not, hopefully we can bring a little fun to your day today. And something, let's see, Mickey Rosa says, I'm having a Saturday today. Well, if you are already on Saturday, I am extremely envious. So enjoy your Saturday today. Let's see. Lots of hellos in the chat. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Somebody's asking, what time is it for you? Because in UK, it's 21:31. Well, let's see. Where I'm at, it is 2:30 in the afternoon. Where Young Nails is at, it is 12:30 in the afternoon. So we are all in different areas, but I'm so excited that even though we're all in these different areas, we can all come together and we can learn, and I can help, give you guys some information, help you guys get some inspiration for your nails. So let's get started. Got my nails all ready to go here. I was just kind of trimming them up a little bit, getting them ready. And if those of you that were here bright and early in our live stream, I was using just a like a alcohol wipe to clean off and wipe down my nail trainer, or my my nail trainer here. So you guys, it's always kind of one of those things that whatever you practice doing on your trainer hands is usually what you're going to practice when you actually get to real hands. So kind of going through even just the motion of cleaning off your trainer hand and wiping that down, that's kind of a good thing or a good habit to get into, because you always want to make sure that you're having your clients wash their hands before they start. So those of you that were here right as we started, you may have seen me doing that. But again, just kind of a reminder, anytime you start a nail service, always make sure that you wash your hands and your client washes their hands. And then we're going to get into our prep. And I'm going to start by pushing back my cuticles. And again, you guys, I know on the trainer hand, she doesn't really have a whole lot of cuticle. So we're not really pushing a whole lot back, but again, it's staying in that habit of that motion, so that again, anytime you go on to a real client on real hands, you're going to always remember to do all of those steps. So push back our cuticles. We're going to remove shine from our nail here. And I was using the ball bit a little bit earlier, actually yesterday and today. You guys, I have some pretty dry cuticles. I am a cuticle picker from time to time, so you may notice that I do have a little bit of, a little cuticle work in there. But that ball bit that I was using, I'll just give you a quick little show before I change out my bit. I really like to use that kind of up around those dry cuticle areas. It really is, it's a nice soft kind of a bit. It's fairly fine. I know it says I think it's technically a coarse bit, but it's actually not that coarse. So I really like to use that up around my cuticles, anywhere I have that kind of dry or kind of hardened skin. I actually have a little bit down kind of along my sidewalls here. But using that ball bit down along those edges can really help to kind of smooth out some of that dry skin, or kind of that callousy skin. Belinda, thank you so much for your contribution to our channel. You guys, we appreciate you guys all so much. Whether it's through your contributions such as that, or even just subscribing to our channel. You guys, thank you so much for all of your support here. All right, we're going to switch over to our sanding band. Now, I got my sanding band on here from yesterday, so I'm going to change that out. And you guys, I only use this for demos. So when I say I used this yesterday, that doesn't mean that I used this yesterday all day on my clients. I used this one time on our demo on our trainer hand yesterday. So when you are using these sanding bands, you always want to make sure that you are changing them out and putting in a clean, fresh one for every service that you're doing. So whether it's on yourself or on clients, always change that out for every service. So you're going to, let me put that in just a little bit farther there. But by changing that out, you're going to always, first of all, have a good clean bit on there, a good sanitary bit on there. And second of all, you're going to have the proper grit. So as you're using these sanding bands, here's my old one, you notice that there is a little bit of wear and tear on this one. So again, that's why we always want to put a fresh, clean, brand new bit in there so we've got proper grit to do the service that we need it to do, okay? And what we're trying to do now is just basically remove the shiny surface from this nail. So let's go ahead and let me readjust here just a second, get you guys a better view here. There we go, that looks good. So all I'm going to do is just come right up around that cuticle area, just very gently right up around there, and I'm going to just feather that bit all the way through the rest of the nail. Now you guys notice that as I'm working, I kind of keep in mind kind of the contour of my client's nail. So this one, she doesn't have a lot of an arch to that nail, but as I'm working, I do keep my bit so that it's parallel on that nail, so that it's kind of staying in line with that nail. So as I'm working, I'm keeping my bit slightly angled towards the cuticle, keeping it a little bit flatter up into that higher area, and then just slightly downward at an angle. So again, you're staying at kind of that parallel to the nail. I hope that makes sense. But again, as we're working through, all I'm doing is I'm going to slow my motion down so that you guys can see what's really happening. Because when I'm feathering, I know I'm moving quickly, and a lot of times people think that I'm just going back and forth. Let me show you on another one here. A lot of times people think I just stay connected to that nail and I basically grind that nail back and forth. And that's not what I'm doing. What I'm actually doing is I'm coming across the nail, picking up my bit, across the nail, pick up my bit, across the nail, pick up my bit. Now, the reason that I do that is a couple of different things. First of all, if you keep that bit on the nail and you're just grinding away without ever lifting that bit up, first of all, that's going to build up heat on the nail. And actually, I can kind of feel a little bit of warmth even after just that little bit. If you feel that nail, you're going to feel a little bit of warmth. Now, your client is also going to feel that, and we don't want our clients to feel that heat or even a burning kind of a feeling. So we want to make sure that as you come across, pick up, across, pick up. So again, that is going to reduce that heat and reduce that friction on the nail, okay? Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to take that bit right down the sides, because sometimes you kind of miss that edge as you're feathering through, okay? So I'm just going to turn that finger and just catch that edge right down there. If I missed over on the side here, I'm going to use more of the base of my bit to catch that side, okay? Now, I kind of forgot where I was going with that, but you guys, I want to go back to, so if you are a newbie, if you're just learning how to use the e-file, again, you're going to come across the bit, across the nail, pick up the bit, across, pick up the bit, across, pick up the bit. The more you practice, the easier that's going to be and the faster you're going to be able to move. So then you can do more of that feathering motion and get that done really quick and easy, okay? Now, you guys, I know that as I'm showing you here, I'm showing you and it seems like it's taking a long time, but really that is all that it should take you, okay? So if you're prepping a nail, it should just be a quick circular motion right up around that cuticle and then feathering all the way through the rest of that length, just enough to remove that shine, maybe a once or so down the sides, once down the side here, and you're done, okay? So again, prepping is a very quick process. You don't have to spend a ton of time on it. Now, I'm going to show you guys something that I don't always show you on the trainer hand because it doesn't quite give the same effect as when you're actually working on a real person. But I do want to show you our, this is our diamond bit. This is our diamond cuticle square bit. So let me get you a better view here, get a little closer. So you can see this is a diamond bit, but it has a flat top to it. And I absolutely love working with this one up around my cuticle area. So I'm going to turn that e-file still on about 5,000 RPMs. And I like to use this bit right up around that cuticle because again, on the trainer hand, it's a little harder to see. But on a real nail, you can get right up into that cuticle area and get any of that last little bits of protein growth cleaned out. Okay, so this bit, if you have maybe a client who is maybe a nail biter or a picker, kind of like I am here, you guys, this bit, actually, let me see if I can show you. I just put some cuticle oil on my cuticles here, but let's see if I can show you on my real nail here. So again, we'll push back that cuticle. And then this diamond cuticle square bit can get right up into that cuticle area and clean off any dead protein growth that may be stuck on the nail, okay? And you guys can see I'm right there at my cuticle, but it doesn't feel painful. It's not gonna cut my skin or anything like that. It's just going over just that natural nail and right up around that cuticle to really clean that out, okay? You guys, again, I'll show you here. I'm even putting some good pressure with this on my skin, and it's not cutting, but it is going to help to kind of slough off that dead skin. And same thing with that ball bit that I was showing you guys earlier. Let me see if I can find that again. This one is also a diamond bit, so similar to our square bit, but this one has that rounded surface. So this one again works really well for kind of along, oh sorry guys, kind of along those edges. If you've got any calluses, works really, really good to use on feet for your pedicures. So a lot of that kind of callus around those toes and things like that, it's going to work really, really well. So let me pop that one in really quick. And this one, you guys, you can kind of see I've got a little bit of that dry skin right along that side area. So again, I can use that to kind of buff that away. So just to kind of smooth that out a little bit. Again, it's a diamond bit, so it's not going to cut my skin, but it's just going to kind of slough off some of that dead skin. So this, by using a combination of these bits, you don't have to do a lot of trimming of the cuticle. You can just use these bits to kind of slough off that dead skin and clean that up, okay? All right. Hopefully that gave you guys a little bit more insight to working with the e-file. And before I forget, you guys, we do have a great sale going on. Our e-file is on a bundle deal, so you get the whole e-file, the desktop e-file, you get the mandrel, that metal bit down there, and a pack of 100 sanding bands. You also get our ceramic bit, ceramic cone shaped bit, that's a medium grit. And altogether, that whole entire bundle is $250. You guys, it's almost a $400 value, almost, not quite, but almost a $400 value. So if you are looking to get started with an e-file, I would highly recommend checking out this bundle. And you guys, everything that I'm using today is on our website, youngnails.com. And again, we are having a great sale, so make sure that you check that out. Oh, Autumn, looks like Autumn ordered, I'm assuming, Autumn, that you ordered the e-file bundle. You got yourself a great deal, so I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to be using that. All right, next thing we're going to be doing is using our swipe, and I'm going to pump a little bit of that up onto my manicure brush, and we're going to use this to really cleanse that nail. So what swipe is going to do is it's going to help to kind of break down and pull off the rest of those surface oils that are on the nail. And then we're going to get a nice clean, dry nail plate from that. And as this is drying, it's also going to take care of any germs or bacteria that is on the nail, because we always want to make sure that we're working over a nice, clean, dry, germ-free, contaminant-free surface. Now you can kind of start to see that nail is going back to that dry look, and that's exactly what we want. We want, again, a nice, clean, dry, pH balanced surface to our nail, no germs, no bacteria. That way we're going to get really good adhesion with our product. All right, next thing we're going to use is our protein bond. And you guys can see that says non-acid adhesion. We don't use a traditional primer. We use a bonder. And how a bonder works is more like a double-sided tape. So it's going to stick down to that natural nail, but then it's going to leave a sticky surface rather than a lot of primers are going to dry out that surface. So this one is going to leave a sticky surface to grab onto whatever product we use on top of it. Okay, so today we're going to be working with a hard gel. We're going to sculpt a nail with our hard gel. So because we're doing an enhancement and an extension, we're going to use 2 coats of our protein bond. And this is going to really help to ensure that our nail adheres really, really well. Okay. Now, the other thing, you guys, I want to kind of talk about is as I'm applying the protein bond, let me show you on this other nail here. As I'm applying protein bond, I make sure that I'm not flooding that product onto the skin or onto that cuticle area. So let me just wait for this to dry really quick one more time. But as I take my product out of the bottle, let me come back out here. I will kind of tap off some of that extra. I don't want to just lift the brush straight out because I don't know, can you guys see how kind of flooded that brush is? It's almost going to drip. So we don't want quite that much protein bond. So again, I'm going to kind of tap off that extra. And then as I apply my protein bond, I start from the center of the nail and then I work out to the sides. Okay, so starting in the center, working out to the sides, and then I work back up to that cuticle area. Okay, the reason for that, let me kind of exaggerate this a little bit, is if I were to take that brush, get that brush fully loaded, it's really got a lot of product, and I went right up to that cuticle area, and I got a little bit too close to that cuticle. You can kind of see if I come in really, really close. Do you see how we've got protein bond right up into kind of that little ridge back there and up onto our skin and that cuticle? Okay. Now remember, I told you guys that protein bond works like a double-sided tape, or it kind of works like an anchor. So wherever you're putting your protein bond, that's where it's going to pull that product to. So if we get our protein bond up on the skin, it's going to pull our gel or our acrylic up onto the skin, which is not going to allow our product to adhere properly to that nail. So that's why we start from that center and work out to the sides and then work towards the back so that we're not using that fully loaded brush and getting right up at that cuticle area and flooding our cuticle. Okay, I think lifting is probably one of the biggest challenges that nail techs face is, because if your product is lifting, your clients aren't going to be happy and they're going to have issues. So applying your protein bond where it should be and not up on that skin is your first step to avoiding lifting, okay? All right, we've got our protein bond on, we've got our nail prepped and ready to go. Let's get our form on. So we're gonna be sculpting a nail today. And those of you, it looks like there's a lot of new people in our chat today. So if you are new, welcome in, first of all. But second of all, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And you guys, hitting that subscribe button just helps our channel so that we can provide you even more free education. So we want you guys here. We appreciate you being here. So if you hit that subscribe, you can join us again. Okay. All right. So all I did, I took my form, I peeled it off the paper backing, took that little center tab out of the middle and stuck that on the back. The reason that I put that on the back is it's going to give my form just a little bit more kind of a firmness to it and not quite such a flimsy feeling. So stick that tab on the back, and then we're going to take these two little silver tabs on the sides and we're just going to kind of roll those together. Now I'm not pinching and I'm not creasing the form down the center. I'm just kind of rounding that over, creating almost a tube. And we're going to pinch those two little silver tabs together as evenly as we can get them. Okay, you want to make sure that they're as even together as possible because, let me show you here one other form. Oh my gosh, looks like you guys are subbing. Thank you for your subscriptions. We appreciate that so much. I see you guys in the chat. I see you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so again, what we're doing is pinching those tabs together. And like I was saying, I want to make sure that they're not offset like this. So if you pinch your form together and you see part of that white side and that sticky side and that silver piece isn't kind of connected to that, what's going to happen is your form is going to be lopsided. Do you see that bold line down the center of our form? Let me show you this one instead. Let me come in just a little closer. So you can see there's a bold line down the center of our form. We want that bold line to be right down the center and right down to kind of that point where we pinch it, okay? If you didn't pinch your form together nice and even, like here, oh my gosh, thank you, Belinda, thank you, thank you. So if you didn't pinch your form together nice and even, what's gonna happen is that bold line is gonna be off-centered, which means your form is gonna be lopsided, which means your extension is gonna be lopsided. So make sure that you are bringing that form together and those little tabs together as evenly as you can get them, and then you're gonna pinch that form together at that point. Now, if you're doing a square nail, you're not gonna pinch that to a point. Today we're gonna be doing, I think we're going to be doing a longer almond shape. So I'm going to pinch that together towards the end. If I want it a little bit shorter, I can pinch just a little bit more. However long you want that extension, you can pinch that form down. So I think we're going to be right about there. I'm going to open up that perforation right at the top. That's going to make it a little bit easier to get my form on. And then let's grab our finger here. And I'm going to start with that form. Let me show you guys this from the side. Okay. I'm going to start with that form at just a slight downward angle. Let me open that up just a little bit more for you. So again, we're going to start at a slight downward angle, and then we're going to lift up on the end of that form until that form comes out nice and straight from that free edge. And by starting at that angle, basically we're catching that free edge, and then it's going to bring that form flush up under that nail so that we don't have any gaps. Once it's flush up underneath there, we're going to secure it on the sides. And we're going to take a look and make sure our form is nice and straight. I'm actually going to kind of pinch that together a little bit more underneath so that we get a really nice tight C curve to that form and that it's not flaring out. Now, you guys, one other thing you can do to check to make sure that your form is straight, once you get all four fingers, get those forms on all four fingers, check and see, make sure that those forms look straight in line with each other. I feel like this one's looking just a little bit off-centered. Another thing I can do, I can actually turn that client's hand around. Let me readjust here. And I can take a look at the fingers from this view. And that's also going to show me if my forms are on straight. And again, I think this one is just a little bit lopsided. So I'm going to just open that back up. Let me readjust here. So I'm going to open that back up a little bit, readjust, making sure that the bold silver line is coming right straight out in line with the finger. Now here's the thing, you guys. Let me come in a little closer here. When you're putting your forms on, again, that bold silver line right down the center here, you want to make sure that is in line with the whole finger, not necessarily the nail, because sometimes that nail is actually crooked. And if you put that form on straight with the nail, you're going to end up sculpting it crooked. But if you line that form up straight in line with the finger, you're going to see that all of your nails are going to end up looking nice and straight. Now, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a couple of nails here that are crooked. So when I put my form on, if I put my form on looking at my nails like this, it's actually going to look straight from this view. But if I turn it around, my form is going to look like it's actually going off to the side a little bit. So when I put my forms on, I do line them up straight in line with my finger. And I kind of look from my knuckle to my knuckle to my knuckle and then out through the extension. So that way I know everything is going to be straight. Okay, so if you have straight, or if you have crooked fingers, or if you have a client that has crooked fingers, always turn that hand around and look from this view to make sure that those nails are straight. Okay, and you guys, just as we're talking about this, you can see my middle finger itself. You can see that it kind of curves off a little bit. So when I put my forms on, I have to make sure that I'm lining those straight in line, basically from this back knuckle, from the back knuckle here out through the end. Now, as my nails do grow out, they continue to kind of grow in that crooked direction. So that's why you're starting to see that this nail is kind of a little bit off-centered. But when I originally do my nails, I do make sure that my form is going straight through the length of my finger. Okay? All right, you guys, let's keep the chatter in the chat to nails. So if you are learning nails and enjoying our chat and our lesson today, make sure you put some love in the chat. Put some hearts in the chat if you guys are enjoying our stream today. Let me know. I like to see what's going on. I like to see that you guys are having a good time today. All right, we've got our form on. We've got everything prepped and ready to go. Today we're going to be working with our Synergy gel. So let me grab our products and I'll show you guys what we're going to be working with. All right, so we've got our base gel. Now, base gel is what we always want to make sure to apply to the natural nail because this is going to have the best adhesion to that natural nail. And then we're going to be building our nail today with our clear sculptor in the precision applicator tube. And we're also going to be using Build Pink in the precision applicator tube. So those are the main gels that we're going to be using. So let's start with, we're going to start with our clear sculptor. And we're going to build out our extension first. Now I'm going to grab one of our little art palettes. And I always like to have my art palette just to help kind of keep my brush clean. Let me grab this here. All right. And the brush that I'm using today is our Pro Gel Sculptor. And you guys can see this it comes with two pieces here. Oops, that's kind of stuck there. So you can pop that top off and put that on the back for the handle. And then you have a brush cover kind of built in there. And you guys, I'll tell you, this brush is part of our, We've got two different bundles. We've got our heart bundle and our broken heart bundle, and this brush is what comes in both of those bundles. So again, you guys, we got a great sale going on, so make sure to check that out after the chat here or after our live stream, so you can see all of the great bundle deals and things we've got on sale. All right, we've got our nail ready to go. I'm going to grab my clear sculptor, and we're going to start by building out our extension. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that clear sculptor onto my form, bringing that up enough to attach to that natural nail. So just kind of just feathering that up there, and then I'm going to just pull a little bit of that product down the length of the nail. Now I'm not squeezing out any more product as I go unless I need more, but what I've got on this nail right now is probably actually more than enough to create my whole extension. So all I did was squeeze out a little bit right at that center part, and then just kind of work that down to the end of my form. I'm going to use my brush to kind of just make sure everything is connected and make sure the extension is the proper shape. I'm going to take a little bit of that product off. We didn't need quite so much. Bring that back up into our corners. And again, you guys, we're only really building our nail out to this point here. I'm not bringing it all the way down to the end of the form. But if a little bit of product gets down there, that's not a big deal. I'm going to turn the nail on the side, and I'm going to use the edge of my brush, and I'm going to kind of swipe back right up into that corner. So right back into here to make sure that my product is connecting. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Sweep that brush back. Now I've got my product, you can kind of see my product is hanging a little bit lower. I want it to be coming straight out from that natural nail. So I'm going to really make sure that I'm pulling my brush back so it stays right in line with that lower arch. And then I'm just going to blend that up on there. Looks like I had just a tiny little bit of product kind of overlapping on the skin. I do want to make sure that if I accidentally get any product on the skin, that I do clean that off right away. Okay, so make sure, clean any product off the skin if you accidentally get it on there. Try to avoid that at all costs, but occasionally it can happen. Okay, we've got our extension built out. I'm going to get that into the light. And let me show you guys what I got going on here. So over on this side of my table, I actually have two lights. So this is one light on that side, and I've got a second light over on the other side. So this way, when you're working on a client, you can be working on both hands. So one hand can be in the light and you're working on the other, and then you can kind of alternate back and forth. So by having two lights, you're not going to have maybe one light in the center and then just kind of back and forth and working over that light. By having those two lights, it's going to make your life much easier to be curing those nails. Okay. Now this first one, I'm only going to cure for about 30 seconds. So that looks about right. So 30 seconds is enough to really kind of freeze that product into place. It's not fully cured, and that's okay at this point, because we are going to continue to cure each layer, but I'm just going to cure it kind of just to freeze it into place. All right, now we're going to grab our base gel, and remember the base is what I said has the best bond to that natural nail, so we really want to make sure that we are getting a great bond and a kind of a great foundation to our application here. So we're going to take a little bit of base, and with our, let me go back to our Sculptor. With our Sculptor, I was kind of floating that product a little bit more, but with the base, I'm actually going to put some pressure with my brush, and I'm going to press that base gel down into that natural nail. What this is going to do by using that little bit of pressure is it's going to help that base gel to really kind of intertwine with all of the little nooks and crannies into that natural nail. So it's getting that product really well connected to that natural nail. And then a lot of times what I like to do is I'll take just a tiny little bit more of that gel and just kind of run that right along the edge where that natural nail connects to our free edge, just so I have a really good connection. I'm just going to kind of feather that out a little bit. But now you can kind of see, if we look from the side, see how it just flows nice and easy all the way through. If I hadn't put that last little bit right there at that seam, I would have kind of more like a drop down. And this way, again, I'm going to have a nice even connection all the way through. So we're going to go back into the light with that one again. Again, we're going to do a 30-second freeze. Set that into place. And then, you guys, I'm gonna get my colors that I'm gonna be working with here so you guys can see what I've got. Now, again, I don't know if you guys noticed, I have a whole bunch of different glitters sitting out in front of me here. I don't have all of the glitters that are in the bundle for the sale, but I have most of them. And today we're gonna be using a few of the colors. So again, you guys, this bundle deal includes 14 different glitters. Again, you can find this on our website, but 14 different glitters in the 1-ounce jars. So these are a ton of glitter, you guys, and it's a great deal for you. So make sure to check out the bundles on our website, youngnails.com. I'm also going to be using some of the gel polishes. We also have a 14-piece gel polish bundle that we've got for you guys. And all right, so the colors that I'm going to be using today, the gel polishes that are in the bundle are Sheer Pink 101 and Whatever You Like and Magenta 101. And DeAngelis, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so appreciative of you. Thank you so much. So again, the manicure colors, and you guys, these are gel polish colors. So these do need to cure in the UV light. But again, Sheer Pink 101, Whatever You Like, and Magenta. And you guys, this is the new packaging and the new labels. I just still have my old packaging. Still okay, but just so you know what the difference is on that. Now, one color that I am going to add in that's not in the bundle deal is White 101. And I'm just going to kind of add this in as a little bit of an accent color, okay? Belinda, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you. You guys are so generous today. I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you guys, if you're able to subscribe, we love to have you guys subscribe to our channel so that you guys can just keep getting all of this free education. We appreciate you guys. Just being here, we appreciate you. All right, so again, these are going to be the 4 glitters that I'm going to be using with our design today. Again, we've got that bundle pack of 14 different glitters. These are just a sampling of what I've got. And today's glitters are Peace Piece, which is a little bit more of kind of a mylar. So it's a little bit more chunky looking, but really, really pretty. Great, great light reflection on that. So you'll see a lot of different color coming out from those. We've got Minor Raindrops. You guys, I absolutely love this one. And I feel like I use this one a lot because this really goes with a lot of different designs and a lot of different colors. You can kind of see all of those different colors reflecting in there. So this is probably one of my favorite glitters to use just because it's so pretty. And we've got I Spill It. And you guys, look at this one. I love this one. It is a pink and DeAngelis. Thank you again. You guys, amazing. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to warn you guys. I think when Young Nails named this, they named it for me because I Spill It is something that I tend to do with pink glitters. So if I accidentally spill this, it's just kind of my curse that I have. So I just think it's funny that we named it I Spill It and it happens to be a pink because I always say I have the curse of the pink glitter. So that's my little inside story about I Spill It glitter, but let's move on. All right, next one we have is Crinkle Sprinkles. And this one, you guys, this one is super fun. This one I actually like to kind of pour out because this one is, oh my gosh, Boho Bell, you guys, you are amazing today. Thank you, thank you. So this one is more of kind of little slivers of the glitter, kind of little rectangular pieces. And again, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a purple glow to it along with that pink glow. So a lot of different colors that we're going to be using. But you guys, I want you to kind of notice something. The colors that I'm using, we got different colors, but we also have different cuts of glitter. And I think using different cuts of glitter, and what I mean by that is different shapes and sizes, but using different cuts of glitter is really going to help to add different dimension. And I always call it adding interest. So using different shapes and sizes is going to add interest. Oh my gosh, Monty Pep. Oh, you guys are on a roll today. Thank you. Thank you. You all are so amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. I was saying earlier that today it felt like Friday, but you guys are really making my day here. So thank you so much, everyone. All right, so we've got our nail sculpted out. I'm going to take my form off and I'm just going to pinch that. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced this, but Bodor Al-Hadi, thank you, much appreciated. Again, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. I apologize. All right, we're just going to pinch our form, release that from our product. Now, because we pinched our form, and I think I got a little bit of extra product down here on the end, my form doesn't quite want to release. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take that form off, pull that away. So now we've got kind of a platform to apply our design onto, okay? We're gonna start with, let me grab my colors here. Actually, I'm gonna set my glitters off to the side for a second. We're not gonna use those just yet. So I'm gonna open up all three of my colors here. And again, we've got whatever you like. Now you guys, I wanna show you what these colors look like because it's gonna look a little bit different on the nail. Let me come back over here. So whatever you like is a sheer color. So it's gonna add some color, but it's not gonna be very bold. So I wanted a little bit of a darker color, so that's where I grabbed the Magenta 101. Now magenta is, I love this color, you guys, it's super pretty. I especially love this one in the summertime, and I know it's not quite summertime here in the States, but it's gonna be great for summertime, so it's a good time to stock up on that one. And then we're also gonna be using Sheer Pink 101. So this is also kind of a translucent. It's got a little bit of color to it, and you're not really gonna be able to see that very well on the tile here. Oh, there you can kind of see it a little bit. But this is a beautiful color for doing French manicures. If you're doing gel polish French manicures, that's probably the one that I love the most. So we're gonna use kind of a combination of all three of these. Now let me readjust my camera one more time here. Now, I'm also going to be using our stain resistant top coat. Now, you guys, I know this isn't a sculpting kind of a gel, but I really like the stain resistant top coat if I'm going to be doing a design where I want my product or my color to kind of what we call bloom. And I know there's a lot of other blooming gels out there, but you guys, if you're using the stain resistant top coat as a top coat, using it for your quote unquote blooming gel is just another use for it so that you don't have to have all of these different products on your station. So let me grab my colors now, and I'm going to start with my magenta, and we're just going to kind of put little drips and drops here and there, and you'll see that now that color is starting to kind of just kind of bloom, kind of blend out a little bit. We'll add in a little bit of that color, whatever you like. And you guys, I know you think that I'm telling you to do whatever you like, but that's actually the name of the polish that I'm using. And then a little bit of that sheer pink 101, just kind of letting these colors kind of bloom together and kind of melt together. And I am gonna take, let me find my brush here. Actually, I think I'm gonna grab my ombre brush. And we did have a collection, a brush collection previously that had this brush in it, but if you have our ombre brush, this is a great use for it. So I'm just gonna kind of pull through those colors, helping them to kind of marble together a little bit. D'Angeli's, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you. So again, just kind of pulling those colors, kind of swirling them. There's not really a whole lot of rhyme or reason to this, just kind of bringing those colors together, just creating a little bit of a swirl pattern, however you like your design. And you guys, I know this is where I start to sound like Bob Ross. I get it, I know. But really, however you like your design to come out, just kind of keep moving those. And again, by having that stain resistant top coat underneath, it really helps to kind of just melt out those colors and just kind of blend them together a little bit so that they come together a little easier. Okay, I'm going to get this back into our light. We're going to freeze this into place again for another 30 seconds. And, oh, you know what? I forgot. I was going to add white to this. That's okay. We'll add it again. So I'm going to grab my white 101. Now, again, this is not part of that 14-piece bundle, but it is a beautiful color. Again, if you're doing pink and white gel manicures, the white 101 and the sheer pink 101 are an excellent combination. But I'm just going to grab a little bit of this. I'm going to set that right onto my tile. And then let's grab our color again, or our nail again. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to grab a little bit more of that sheer pink. Actually, yeah, we'll go sheer pink. We'll mix it up here for a little bit. So I'm going to do a coat of sheer pink all the way through this. And then I'm going to take my liner brush. Top nail, let's make a happy accident. You got it. Happy accidents all the way. So we're going to take our liner brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that white and just kind of do some squiggly lines, almost like we're marbling this. We're trying to create a stone look. Let me come in a little bit, a little closer. Somebody's asking, why is it so sharp? You guys, we haven't filed this nail yet, so it's not a perfect shape. Everything is not quite where it needs to be, so don't worry. I promise, trust the process, and we will make this nail a beautiful shape. So I'm going to just start with that, okay? We're going to start with that, and it's kind of melting out just a little bit, but I'm going to grab my touch cure light, and you guys, I'm going to use this just to do a quick cure. Now, if you're working on a real person, you could definitely put this back into the full UV LED light, but for this one, I'm just going to do a quick freeze into place, just using our little pen light here. Oops. All right, we'll turn that off. So just freeze that into place. Now we're going to do a second coat. Actually, I guess we're on our third coat. We're going to go back to, oops, you guys see, look, I told you I have the curse of the pink. I spilled my pink gel polish. It happens. I don't know what it is. I have the curse of the pink colors. Okay, but we're going to grab our color called Whatever You Like. I'm going to do another coat of this. And you guys, again, this one is a sheer color. So that's going to give a little bit of a tint to that white underneath here. We're going to add a little bit more of that white, just kind of pulling in kind of opposite directions of where our first layer of white was. Okay, let's come back in here. Just kind of blending that through. And again, you guys, by adding the color on top of our white, it's going to give it depth. So we're not going to have all of our white on the same layer. It's just going to give this a little bit of depth. So you're going to see some white in the top layers. You're going to see some of that white in those lower layers. Just kind of blending that out however you feel like you want to. Again, like somebody said, happy accidents. Happy accidents. I love it. All right, I think I'm liking how that's looking. Let's go ahead and grab our little curing light, our touch cure light one more time. Cure that for just a few seconds. You guys, I would say about 20 seconds or so with the curing light here. Just again, enough to freeze those layers into place so that we can add more. Now we are going to do a full cure of this at the end, so don't worry, everything is going to fully cure. All right, so that was about 20 seconds. And let's go back one more time with that sheer pink 101. So we're going to add one more coat on top just to kind of soften that up. What do you guys think? Do we need a little more white in there? I think we need just a little bit more white, just to give it kind of that top layer. But you guys, let me know in the chat. Are you enjoying our lesson today? Throw some hearts in the chat if you're enjoying our lesson today. I'd love to see what you guys are thinking. And you guys also make sure, if you haven't already, if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join our community, have all of this free education. All right, I think I'm liking this. And you guys, this is kind of my thing. I always say, I think I'm liking it, and then I have to add a little bit more. And that's usually my stopping point. Okay, I think we're good on that. So again, I'm going to go back in with my touch cure light. And again, you guys, you could put this back into the light for that full cure. If you are doing a real client, if you're working on yourself, you definitely want to do a full cure on this before you move on. But again, I'm just going to do maybe a quick, 20 or so seconds just to, again, set this into place. Now, you guys, as I'm curing this, if you take a look at it from the side, you can see there really isn't a whole lot of structure to this nail. We've really just been kind of layering in that gel polish. So now what we need to do is actually build up structure to this nail. Now, before I do that, let me close up some things here so I don't have another little incident. I'm not going to call it an accident, it's an incident. So we're going to just close those up, and then I'm going to grab my Build Pink. Now you could use that same clear Sculptor that we started just building out that extension with, but our Build Pink, you guys, let me show you this on our palette here. The Build Pink, I think you'll be able to see it, has just a little bit of a pink tint to it. So not much. Yeah, you can just barely see. So it is a clear gel, but there's just a slight pink tint to it. And I think using this gel, especially over our pink design, is going to give us, oh, glitter. Oh my gosh, yes. You guys, I'm so excited about this nail. I forgot about glitter. It's so pretty as it is. All right. Thank you. Who said that? Eileen Johnson. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, we can't do a nail without glitter. What is going on here? I got so excited. All right. So let's grab our glitters. And again, you guys, these are 4 different glitters that are in the bundle deal that we've got on our website right now. So grab these if you are able to. All right, let's grab, I'm going to go back to our base gel and we're going to brush on, let me find my brush again. We're going to brush on just a very thin layer. Let me come back in here. There we go. So we're going to brush on a very, very thin layer. Again, Eileen Johnson, thank you so much for reminding me. And anybody else that put that in the chat, I would have been very sad if I forgot my glitter today because I love these glitters. They're so pretty. All right, and I'm gonna find my art brush. And you guys, I'm just using an old art brush. It's kind of bent out of shape a little bit. It's not really gonna come back to its perfect shape anymore. So this is why I like using it for my glitters, so because I can kind of get that brush to fray out a little bit. Somebody's asking in the chat, do you ship to Canada? You guys, yes, our website is now set up to ship to US and Canada. So if you are in Canada, you can shop this sale as well. So jump on our website and get all the goodies. And I'm just kind of filling in a little bit of space here and there with that. The first one was I Spill It. And then let's add a little bit of Piece Piece. And again, the Piece Piece is kind of that chunkier mylar. And I'm not really trying to fill in the whole nail. I'm just kind of adding some accents. Okay, and this is how I kind of rock that finger up and down so that I can see where that light is going to reflect, and then I can fill in where I think that I need a little bit more sparkle. So this one that I'm adding in now is Minor Raindrops. I had to stop and think about that one for a second. And then a little bit of the Crinkle Sprinkle, just to kind of add a little bit more texture. And again, you guys, I'm not trying to cover the whole nail because I still want to see those little white swirls underneath, kind of that marble look underneath. I want to make sure I still see those, but let me kind of move that around just a little bit. And you guys, I didn't cure that layer of base gel yet because I want to be able to kind of set these glitters down in there, especially some of these chunkier pieces, so that they really just kind of set down into that wet gel. And you can see I can actually kind of move these around and really position them where I want them to be. All right. What do you guys think? I think we are going to be good on that. Lots of sparkle in lots of different places. We're going to get this back into the light. Or again, you could use that Touch Cure light if you want to. But again, just for another quick 30-second freeze, let me come back out there. Again, I am going to close up my glitters. And that way, again, I'm not going to spill. And let's see, somebody's asking, what exactly have we done today? You guys, I'm not going to go through the whole process of what we did here, but all of the videos, all of our live streams here on YouTube, we do repost here on our channel. So if you maybe missed part of the live stream today, or maybe you want to re-watch this and see, see all the extra details, we will have this design and this video posted here on our channel. And you guys make sure that you do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so that you can keep getting all of this great free education. Join our community. All right, you guys, we got our sparkle on there. Now I think we're finally ready to do our structure, build our structure up. So again, we're going to go back to that Build Pink I was showing you a little bit ago. And I love the Build Pink for really most of my dimensional nails, just because I feel like it really makes the glitters pop. You guys can see, let me come in even a little bit closer, but you can see how much it really makes those glitters pop out of that nail. But I think especially on this nail, having that little bit of extra pink tint to it is really going to make our design just come alive. So we're getting that just all the way through the extension, pulling that all the way down. And you guys, I'm not squeezing out a whole lot of product. I kind of squeezed out a good amount up here by the cuticle, and then I'm kind of working it down the length of the nail, just using that applicator nozzle to kind of move that product. And then I will go back to my brush. Got a little fuzzy on, ugh, I don't know where that came from, but we don't need it on the nail. We're just gonna kind of adjust, make sure our product didn't flow anywhere we didn't want it to. Tuck that back up there, make sure that I've got enough product around my cuticle area. And once more, I'm gonna come in with that light. You guys, let me come back out here so you can see. So I am gonna just kind of use my my pen light here, my touch cure light, to just kind of set this into place. Now you guys, if this was a real client, I probably wouldn't be working with it so close, but so you guys can see on camera, I do work a little closer. If you're working on a real client, I would recommend keeping that light probably, I would say about 6 inches or so away. Otherwise, if you're right on that nail, it can get pretty warm in there because it's curing that gel really, really fast. If you stay just a little ways away, that's going to help to kind of slow down that curing process. But again, for camera viewing here, you guys, I have to kind of stay in my camera here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. I think we're good there for just kind of a freeze into place. Now I'm going to check this nail. I'm going to look from the side view. So you can see we got a good amount of structure, but we've got just a little bit of kind of, I think I need a little bit more product right in my stress area right through here. And then I feel like I could use just a little bit more through here. And you can see some of that mylar is poking out, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because anything that is kind of poking out like that, it will file off when I do my finishing. So I'm not going to worry about that, but I do want to make sure that I have proper structure. So I'm just going to squeeze a little more of that Build Pink right down the center of the nail. And then I'm just going to use my brush to kind of feather it down the sides to really create my proper structure. And I think we're good there. So I'm going to get this back into the light. And you guys, I'll show you that the structure once it comes out of the light. But I wanted to make sure that I got that in the light so that it didn't run or flow at all. Okay. And somebody's asking, did you freeze before adding structure? I did. That's where I was using my little curing pen, my touch cure light here. So I was holding that up above the nail and kind of setting that into place. So I do like to use this light sometimes when I am doing art and things like that. If I just want to set a layer into place and I don't necessarily want to kind of take the time or effort to get it into the light. Because you guys, sometimes you all know if you've got clients, sometimes they maybe ding their nails on the sides. So sometimes I like to use this, just this little touch cure light to really just kind of set it before I go on either to my next layer or to that final cure, okay? But at this point, this is our final cure. So I've got the nail in the light. We're gonna go in there and stay in there for at least 60 seconds. In the meantime, this is usually where I start to kind of clean up my station. Because you guys, you can see, let me kind of show you a little bit more here. I have got all kinds of different stuff on my station, and I like to kind of clean this up at this point so that I'm not feeling so cluttered. So I'm going to clean off my precision applicator tubes. I'm going to close up all of my gels, set those off to the side, and make sure my gel polishes are closed up. And you guys also make sure to clean out your brush. So what I like to do is I'll just find a clean spot on your little tile there and just wipe out any of that extra gel that might be in your brush. And you don't have to completely remove the gel. I actually like to leave just a little bit in there. Now there is a little fuzzy lint something on there. So I'm just gonna grab one of our lint-free wipes, just gently fold that over and just kind of slide my brush through. I'm not putting a lot of pressure because I still want to leave some of that gel in my brush. And that's what's going to hold my brush together and keep it good for next time. And at this point, I will take off that handle part of my brush, turn that over, and I can close up my brush. And now I've got a nice clean brush. Okay. All right. Our nail is done curing. I think we are ready to go here. So once our gel is cured, it does still have a tacky surface on it. So what I need to do is I'm going to grab, again, one of our lint-free wipes. We're going to go back to our swipe, so that same product that we were using earlier to cleanse the nail. This time I'm going to pump it onto that lint-free wipe instead of my manicure brush. And come in nice and close here. We're going to just cleanse that tacky surface off. Make sure to wipe all of that tackiness off. And you guys, as I wipe, notice that I give it one good solid wipe here. I fold that lint-free wipe over, and then I give it another wipe just to really make sure that I've cleansed all of that tacky uncured gel off of the nail. Okay. And you guys, some of you are asking, what is that little thing on my tube here? This just, it comes with our gels, and it just helps to squeeze that product down so that as your product gets lower in the tube, then you have kind of good resistance, maybe. I don't know what the right word is, but you got good flow with your gels, and they're going to squeeze all the way down in there. So really nice and easy, just helps to make things a little bit easier to get that gel out. Now I'm going to grab my dust collector, and you guys, if you don't have a dust collector and you're doing nails, you need one. Okay, honestly, I don't think I would be doing nails this long if I didn't have a dust collector or my e-file. Those are two of my best, my favorite products or tools. And yeah, I really don't think I would do nails without them. So I'm going to switch my bit to our X-Cut carbide. Now this is a coarse carbide, you guys, so let me come in here so you can see. So it's got some teeth to it. It's got some grit to it. You do not want to be using this bit on a natural nail. This is only for over artificial nails, okay? So only for taking down your bulk on acrylics or hard gels. We'll turn our dust collector on. I'm going to turn my e-file on to, because we're using gel, I'm going to say between about 13, maybe 14,000 RPMs. And we're just going to start by straightening out our sidewalls. Now, that person that said that, why is it so pointed? Are you still here? Let me know if you're still here. Because at this point, you guys, again, our nail isn't perfect, but we do have proper structure in there. We've got enough product right through our stress area here. We're going to have a nice thin and tapered cuticle area, and then we're going to have a nice thin and tapered free edge. Right now, all we're going to do is just start to kind of clean it up. So we're going to straighten out our sidewalls. So I'm just pulling straight down on my left side of the bit. I'm going to push straight back on my right side, tapering in that kind of a V shape because we're doing an almond. Well, I guess it ended up as a little bit of a longer almond, but that's okay. So again, just straightening out those sides. I'm going to take a look from that side view and clean up my lower arch. Now, I don't have a whole lot of product hanging down here, but I'm just kind of straightening that lower arch out. So that's going to come straight from this point, straight back to here, straight back through the end of the nail. So all the way straight back. I'm going to turn this on the other side. Same thing, but this time I'm going to pull down. The reason that I'm pulling down on this side, but pushing back on this side, is because you always want to be going in the opposite direction of the rotation of the bit. And here I'm using the top part of the bit, so I'm going against the rotation, okay? Here I'm using the bottom part of the bit, so I'm going against the rotation of the bit, okay? All right, now if I need to, I can come through and kind of shorten this up a little bit. I'm not going to worry too much about that at this point. We'll get to fixing that from a different view. But we're going to look at this nail from the side. You guys, as I'm adjusting here, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's just that little red button. Just tap that. All right, let me see. There we go. At this point, I'm just going to come through my cuticle area and thin and taper out my cuticle. So this way, I'm going to bring my product flush down to that natural nail. Now, if I don't get quite close enough with this bit, I am going to switch to another bit. So if it's not 100% perfect, you guys can see if I come in super, super close there, give you guys that really up close view, you can see there's just a little bit of a ledge right there. Now again, you guys, this is up close and personal, but there's that little bit of a ledge. We're going to switch our bits in just a second, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to really perfect that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to come through the arch of the nail, just down the center. I'm not coming all the way from side to side. Right now, I'm just trying to cut in kind of that arch that I want. And then once I have that shape in there, then I'm going to look from straight down the barrel of this nail. Now let's see, can we get you guys into focus here? Sometimes the camera likes to focus on my skin rather than on our trainer hand here, but we'll get you the best view possible here. Actually, let me come back out. I think that'll be better. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just pull my bit straight down the nail. So we already cut right down the arch of the nail. Now what I need to do is just take down the bulk and kind of the fatness around those edges. So anything that's kind of bulky, we're gonna take that down, and then I'm just gonna go all the way from one side all the way up, kind of into that arch, and then all the way back down to the right side to really make sure everything is nice and rounded and contoured over the surface of that nail. Now it looks like, if you guys take a look straight down the barrel, you can see that the right lower arch here is hanging a little bit lower. So I'm going to come back to that side view, and I'm going to take that up just a little bit more, and then we'll take another look. See how much more even that looks underneath now, just by taking that little extra bit out from that lower arch on the right side. And I think I'm going to straighten out my right side just a little bit more too. Okay, I think we're good there. So you can kind of see we've really got good structure coming into shape here. We're going to switch back to our mandrel. So that first bit that we were using to prep the nail, I'm going to switch back to that one. And we're going to use this to refine. Now you could go right to your hand file, and that would be fine, but I like to switch to this bit to really help me refine up around that cuticle area. Get that, now it's going to be nice and flush down to that natural nail. I'm not going to feel any ridge or any ledge. So again, you guys, let me come in really, really close again so you guys can see. So now you can see that product is going flush right down to that natural nail, and there's no ledge in the back anymore. Okay, it's important that you make sure that you are taking that ledge down, because that's something that your clients are going to pick at, and that's where a lot of lifting can happen. So making sure that your product is flush down to that natural nail is really going to help to avoid that lifting. Okay. All right, and somebody's asking, what speed am I using? This bit right now over the product, I'm working at, I have it on 7,000 RPMs. When I was using my X-Cut carbide, that was at about 13 to 14,000. And when I was prepping my natural nail with this sanding band, that was at about 5,000. Okay, so it just kind of depends on what you are doing, and you're going to adjust your RPMs for each step. Okay, just going to kind of clean up those lower arches just one more quick time here. So again, I have less work to do with my hand file. I am going to go back with my hand file, but you guys, you can really see at this point, I'm going to turn that off. You can see at this point that I don't have a lot of work to do with my hand file. I've got pretty good shaping on my sides. My lower arches are coming pretty straight out from the edge, and everything is looking pretty good down the barrel. So I'm just going to go through and just kind of refine a little bit more. Let me readjust here. You guys, we get a lot of questions. You guys are always asking, why are the trainer hands different colors here? You guys, I don't know how it happens, but it's just different materials. So up here, it's a harder plastic, and then down here, it's a little bit more of kind of a spongy rubber, texture to it, I guess. So that's why they're different colors. It doesn't really make a difference in how you're working with the trainer hand, but it's just different material. Okay, we're going to just straighten out our sides, make sure everything is nice and straight and even. I'm going to work on that left side here, straight and even. And I'm not going to spend too much time trying to perfect my point, because we're going to actually turn this hand around and we're going to perfect it from a different view. So I'm not going to worry about that at this time. We are going to clean up those lower arches, making sure that I'm keeping my file straight with that nail. I'm not angling back up into this corner at all. I'm just keeping that file straight with that nail. So keeping that lower arch nice and straight. Same thing on the other side, straightening out that lower arch. Nice and even there. We're going to come all the way around our cuticle area, tapering that down one last time to really make sure everything is flush down to that natural nail. Coming kind of around the corners here, around the edges, rounding that out, contouring that out. Same thing around that right side, getting that product flush down to that natural nail, and then rounding out our edges. Now, I'm going to turn that nail, kind of look at it from the side, and I'm going to put pressure right at my free edge with my file, and I'm just going to kind of blend that back. So filing backwards, and I'm at a slight angle. I'm going to turn from this way. So you can see I'm at a slight angle, so I'm putting the pressure here at the free edge. I'm not filing into my highest point. I'm not filing into my apex. So I'm just filing, let's see, there you go, there you can see. So I'm filing backwards this way, so it's going to taper down that free edge, get that free edge nice and thin, but still keep the rest of the structure back through the rest of my nail. So again, I'm tapering in that free edge to make sure it's nice and thin so my client can use her fingers and be able to pick up those quarters that she drops on the floor. And then we're going to turn this hand around. And you guys, this is where we're going to do our final check. So we're going to take a look at that nail, make sure everything is nice and straight along our side walls. Straight and even there. I'm going to come over here, straight and even over here. And this is where I really perfect that point. That's why I say I don't spend a lot of time from the other view, because this is how I'm going to look at that nail to make sure everything is where it should be. We're going to look backwards down the barrel of the nail, and I'm just going to kind of flow my file all the way from one side, all the way up and over, all the way over through the other side, really making sure to contour everything on that nail, making sure all of those high spots are gone, low spots are gone, and everything is kind of just connected. So everything is flowing together nice and even. And you guys, do you see how I kind of rock that finger back and forth? This is how I can see all the way from the cuticle all the way through that free edge. Let me readjust here. So this is how I can see all the way from the cuticle to the free edge, and I'll be able to see if there's any high spots or low spots. And then I can hit those areas with my file. All right, what do you guys think? You think this is something that you could do either on yourself or on your clients? Let me know in the chat. Put a little thumbs up if you think you could do this design. Let me know. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button before we finish up this nail. And those of you that have been with us, you know what time it is. So let's go ahead and start our top coat chant in the chat. And usually at this point, I always say, should we add something else to this nail? But today, I'm not going to say that. I think today this nail is just going to be beautiful on its own. I don't think we need any extra additions over the top. So I'm going to just take a little bit of that swipe, same thing that I was using before to clean the nail. We're going to dust that nail off, scrub that nail really well, get all of the dust off of there, any debris off of there. Make sure our nail is nice and clean. So again, you guys, if you don't know what our top coat chant is, you can kind of see everybody that's doing that in the chat. So just add your top coat chant in our chat, and we'll go to our protein bond. I always use a coat of protein bond to really make sure that my top coat adheres really well. Same thing, we still don't want to be flooding that in our cuticle area, so I do start a little ways away from that cuticle and kind of work up to it, and then pull all the way through the extension of that nail. And it's kind of cheating. When you put that protein bond on, you can really start to see that sparkle. But you guys, I'm telling you, when we get our top coat on, whew, this nail is going to shine. Now, I did use the stain resistant inside our nail for kind of that blooming layer. We're going to use this as our top coat today. I normally use our ultimate finish because it's quick and it's easy and there's no tack to it. But because we already had this one out, I'm going to go ahead and use that. And it also gives me an excuse to tell you guys that our stain-resistant top coat is on sale. It's a buy one, get one free. So again, make sure you jump over to the website afterwards and check out all of these bundle deals. Again, the stain-resistant is BOGO, buy one, get one free. All of the colors that I was using for our glitters today, they are part of a 14-piece glitter bundle. And also the gel polishes that I was using today are part of a 14-piece gel polish bundle. So you guys make sure you jump over there to grab all those great deals. But don't go just yet. You guys want to see the final look on this nail, don't you? I know you do because I do. But normally when I'm doing our demos and I'm using the Ultimate Finish, again, you guys, that does not have a tacky surface to cleanse. The stain resistant does have a tacky surface to cleanse. And I'm going to leave our nail in the light here for the full 60 seconds to get that full cure on there so that you guys can see that the full step-by-step process. But we are going to use the swipe to cleanse off that tacky surface, just like we did after curing our building gel. So again, we're just going to grab a little bit of the swipe on our lint-free wipe. And looks like we got about maybe 10 more seconds here. And again, you guys, during this time, you can always be cleaning up your station, kind of getting things ready maybe for your next client so that you're not ever wasting time. Let's see, somebody's asking, do you ship to UK? Our US website does not ship to the UK, but we do have an amazing distributor over there. If you jump onto our website, youngnails.com, and then scroll to the bottom, there is a place where you can find international distributors. So those of you that are joining us from anywhere outside of the US and Canada, definitely still come onto our website and check us out so that you can see all of the products, and then you can find a great distributor in your area. All right, you guys, one last thing that I always forget to do when I'm on live stream, because I don't usually put cuticle oil on my trainer hand, but in those cold winter months like it is right now, I try to remember to do this and show you guys this. Using cuticle oil on yourself and on your clients is a really important step, because this way it's going to help to keep your client's skin and their nails and their enhancements really, really nice and healthy, nice and flexible. And you guys, you can see what happens if you don't use your cuticle oil. You get those hang nails. So I'm going to put cuticle oil on my nails here. But always finish your service with that cuticle oil. I'm going to just dab off a little bit of that extra because it doesn't necessarily soak into our little trainer hand Sally here. But just a quick reminder of that. So make sure you do that. And you guys, one last reminder before we finish up here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, join our community. The more you guys subscribe, the more we can give you free education and show you how to do some fun nails. So I hope you all enjoyed our demo today. Hopefully you guys will go ahead and try this design, but you got to jump over to the website, get those bundle deals, and get all of those great colors, great glitters, and have some fun. All right, let me turn that around one more time, get you a better view. There we go, you guys. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. Let's see, tomorrow we'll be live on our Discord channel. So if you haven't joined us on there yet, we do a live stage chat, so you can call in and ask your questions if you got any questions. But otherwise, we will see you back here on YouTube next week. And you guys have a great rest of your week and have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.